Rockabatko with Buck Showalter for the latest edition of the Buck blog. And Buck, you just got done with your one-game series in Texas. You still have one in Minnesota. I know what a grind a long road trip can be. What kind of a grind is it to go into a city one game and have to come back out?
Well, you can always find somebody who's got it worse than you do. How about the clubhouse guys got to move 40 people back and forth across the country? And, it's, hey, Rock, we fly on a good plane. We stay at a good hotel, and you learn how to sleep on planes. And there's a lot of people working 9 to 5 really don't want to hear it. And it's just part of the challenge you have of playing, 7 days a week for 7 or 8 months. And, it starts in February, and you hope it ends in late October. But it was a challenge, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 days before you recover from that stuff. But every team has a tale of woe, and nobody wants to hear it.
Manny Machado finishing up his suspension. Speaking of tales of woe, what's it been like to get by, not just without him? He's so valuable at the plate, obviously, and in the field, but also with a short roster.
Well, it's not a topic of conversation in our locker room. We talk a lot in the spring how you're going to have periods where, things aren't going to be as they're drawn up in the off season. In fact, more of that than the other. And I'd like to say it was self-inflicted, but it really wasn't, in my opinion. But obviously they don't care because they hadn't asked me how I felt about it. But it's something you got to work through. The biggest challenge is being short on the roster. We have to do things in games like last night that you normally couldn't or wouldn't do, from a pitching department, from a bench department, from even your lineup. You have to construct it differently. So there's a lot of sidebars that come from having Manny or any of our guys suspended because it affects the whole roster.
And the way it affects the roster, is it really a game-by-game thing where you might start out saying we can go short one reliever, and then all of a sudden it's like we might have to go short one infielder depending on the circumstances?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts there, and you got to really, the way we've done it is just smoke clears after a game. You do everything possible you can to win that game without putting somebody in harm's way physically, and then see where you are after the game and make the adjustments much like we did today.
And now you're involved with the interleague portion of the schedule. I know how much you love that. You're going to be going on the road where the pitchers hit. Do the pitchers look forward to interleague because of that, or does it kind of depend on the guy? And how do you feel about it? I know Zach is looking for an opportunity to swing the bat again.
Well, initially they do until if they get embarrassed or not. But, you got to think about it. Pitchers are playing with house money. They got nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. Everybody expecting. We did try to line up Gardo that he would fall on those 2 games where that he would be hitting because he's pretty good at that. But, the American League, the National League teams have the advantage because they all have a guy they'd love to DH and they'd love to get off the field and take some time. But we don't, very seldom. So it's really one-sided as far as the rules benefit the National League clubs coming over here. But I think it's a nice little break. The bottom line, the fans seem to like it, and that's why we do it. And so what does it matter what I think?
Zach said it would probably have to be an extreme situation for him to get another chance to hit. No temptation at all, despite his past success?
Oh, there's always temptation. Our guy's been working very hard. The other problem, you worry about injury because it's something they don't do all year, and all of a sudden you start hitting and bunting and running and getting them ready for that and for a short period of games. So you always kind of hold your breath that you get through it physically.
I'm Rockabatko with Buck Showalter. Thanks for watching.